In this video, we're going to talk about how do you know, like absolutely know, that you should speak for free or get paid to speak.
How'd you do that?
I see that success is not something you pursue, it is something you are.
I got an email from someone in the SpeakPro Academy where they said something interesting. They said like, okay, how do I know if I should get paid to speak or speak for free? Because in the first email that people send out, the first email says, hey, who hires the speakers? And I use the word hire because it tells them you got to pay me. Like, hey man, I'm not doing this for free. Slavery ended. You got to pay me. And so I do tell them that if you're not at the level where you're going to get paid, you do not use the word hire. Instead, you say who brings in the speakers. And the reason for that is because if you say who brings in the speakers, what they think is, okay, yeah, we're going to have this person come in for free, and they think free. Whereas if you say hire, they think, oh, we definitely got to pay this person. And so the person in the SpeakPro Academy said, hey, how do you know when you should use who hires speakers or who brings in speakers? And so that's what I want to talk about, because a lot of times people think in terms of, oh, I deserve to get paid. My presentation is great. I deserve to get paid. And then I go to their website, I look at their stuff, I'm like, dude, no, come on, be honest. Come on. And so you got to really check yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. And so you got to know when you're actually going to get paid. And here's the thing. You should speak for free if one of these things are in your range, or if you're doing one of these things. You should speak for free if, one, that you want to. I mean, you just want to speak for free, and you're just like, sure, I just want to speak for free. So that's one. Two, if you do not look like you're worth paying for. And this is the biggest thing that I see with a lot of guys, where they just don't look like they're worth paying for. It doesn't matter if you think you're worth paying for, it's what do they think you're worth paying for. So if you don't have the video footage, testimonials, pictures, if you don't have that stuff, if you don't have a good looking website, people aren't going to pay you. And so you got to think, do you look like you're worth paying for? You should also speak for free. Oh, and by the way, signs of this, because a lot of times we don't know if we're worth paying for. We might look at our website and say, well, it's good enough. So we don't really know. So the signs that indicate whether or not they think you're worth paying for is basically people look at your website. So they do look at your site and then they say no. And so you send them an email, they're like, hey, check out my website. They're like, okay. And then you look at your website, maybe you have the tracking software, so you know they clicked on the link, and then they just don't respond to you, or they just say, no, we're not interested. That is one sign. That is a big sign. And then if they also give you a low ball offer, so maybe you say $5,000 and they say, oh, we only have 500. I mean, I'm talking about a low ball offer where you say something like $20,000 and they're like, oh, we only have 1,000. So that is an indicator of you not looking as good as you think you look. So now, on the other hand, a lowball offer isn't something like you say 20,000 and they offer you 15. That is not a lowball offer. That is just negotiating. So there's a difference between negotiating and a lowball offer. And also, just be honest. I mean, if your website sucks, be honest. I mean, come on now. And then you want to speak for free if you don't have multiple videos of your presentation. So if you only spoke at one event, or if you only have one video of your presentation in terms of one venue, then you want to speak for free so you can get multiple venues. And this is just because it's going to make your website and everything look better. If you only have one venue, your website isn't going to look all that great. So you want to have multiple venues. Another thing, if you want to speak for free, well, you should speak for free if you don't have testimonials. If you don't have any video testimonials, I mean video testimonials. If you don't have any video testimonials, you got to speak for free, because you got to get those. You got to put them on your site. It's going to make you look good. When people say, oh, this is the greatest thing on earth, the greatest speaker, oh my goodness, that stuff makes you look really good. And then you also want to speak for free if you have nothing else going on. I mean, if you're just sitting at the house and you're not doing anything, you probably want to speak for free. You want to do some free presentations, because sometimes it's better to be on a stage than not to be on a stage. And in fact, It's a perfect example is, even though I charge $10, $15, $20,000, I still, well, I didn't speak for free, but I still did a presentation at the Magic Castle for a really low amount. And I almost said no because it's just really low. And so I almost said no, but I said, you know, I've never been there, so let me do it anyways. And because I did that, I met a couple people who did hire me for $15,000 for a $15,000 presentation. So I made $15,000 off this guy, I made $30,000 off another event. So even though I did a really low, it was like $1,000, it was like $1,200 for the Magic Castle, I still made like 50 grand off of these guys. So sometimes you got to think, all right, speaking for free, there's nothing wrong with it. And there really is nothing wrong with speaking for free. No matter where you're at in your career, you will pretty much always speak for free eventually. Even Tony Robbins speaks for free. Even though he can charge like a gazillion dollars, he will still speak for free at an event. And so there's nothing wrong with speaking for free. Don't let it hurt your ego. People used to say this to me all the time, where they would say things like, wow, you really do this for a living? Is this all you do? And they would always say that. And at first I thought, like, man, there's something wrong with my image. The reason why people don't think I do this for a living is because there's something wrong with my image. And they would always say that after they saw my presentation. It was never when they looked at my website or anything. It was always, I did a presentation in front of the whole crowd, and then at the end, everyone's at the bar hanging out, talking, and they would say things like, oh wow, this is the only thing you do? I mean, you have nothing else, no other job? And at first I thought, like, damn, like, what am I doing wrong here? And even when I made I made more money in 1 month than they did in a year, people still said that because they just do not know. They don't know how much you're actually making. People just don't know. And so there's nothing wrong with speaking for free. Do not let it hurt your ego when people say things like, wow, is this really all you do for a living? Do not let it hurt your ego. All you got to say is, yeah, I do pretty decent from it. Like, that's all you got to do. That's all you got to say. And basically, you have no idea whether or not someone is getting paid. When someone is on a stage, you have no idea whether or not they're getting paid. People have no idea whether or not you're getting paid. Like, you have no idea that I'm getting paid $1 billion to make this video. You have no idea. I mean, why would I do this video for free? I mean, I'm getting paid $1 billion to make this video. I mean, like, I do this thing for free. So at a certain point, you got to realize that there's nothing wrong with doing stuff for free, but you do have to know that if you look like a scrub, people are going to only offer you free events. And you got to be very, very aware of how you look. And do you look like you're worth paying for? That's what it comes down to. Do you look like you're worth paying for? But do not feel bad if you're doing events for free. And by the way, if you like these videos, comment on it, share it with people that you think would love the marketing stuff. So share it, like it, comment on it.